So I kind of wanted to, talk about the current trends in AI adoption. So I wanted to understand the impact of LLMs on the Indian financial services industry. Sandesh, wanted to understand, how does LLMs help Perfios in enhancing fraud reduction and prevention?
Sure. Uh, so, I mean, instead of speaking of LLM, maybe we can speak more generic about the AI and ML kind of technology. So, Perfios, like I said, primarily works in the financial sector, the BFSI sector, banking and financial institutions, as well as insurance. And there are quite a lot of aspects where ML and AI could definitely play a major role. One, definitely in the whole assessment analytics of the credit assessment, creditworthiness of the customer that they want to lend to. Second, fraud detection. Fraud becomes a major aspect, especially in the financial institution. And how can we leverage the latest in technology through AI and ML and other models, which kind of tries to mitigate a lot of these risks. So, if I can give you an example, for example, you have the fraud as a space. Now, fraud is a very tricky subject, fraud detection especially. Now, when it comes to fraud detection, speed and accuracy is of utmost importance. Now, AI/ML is not, LLM as well, is not really suited for a speed and accuracy kind of a use case. It's still not matured so much. But then there's also a huge amount of data that needs to be processed in order to understand what is a fraud and what is not, to understand the whole, to come up with that predictive models. And that is where I think a tricky use of both AIML with heuristic kind of an approach is what people like Perfios, we have been leveraging a lot, because we process close to about 500 million transactions, which is a lot of data, and which you could use for understanding what the propensity of a customer to be. I mean, basically, is the customer real or is he a fraudulent? So, if I go to an example of, say, in insurance, for example, claim adjudication becomes an aspect where a lot of frauds happen. So you have customers who are submitting their claim documents with by colluding with, say, a pharmacist, and the pharmacist gives him a fake bill of, say, 10,000, 20,000 bills. Or this guy could also submit a fake MRI scan or some kind of a diagnostic report and submit it for the purpose of getting that money from the insurer. Now, when this kind of a document is submitted, we process it in real time, and we are here to give a real time decision, real time analytics and decision to our customers, the insurers there. So that's where, a lot of approach where, for example, you need to look at what the treatment is, looking by digitizing the whole documents that's been submitted. What are the approach for the treatment? What are the diagnosis reports? What are the procedures that were done, and what procedure is right for what kind of treatment? What kind of medicines are used in what kind of treatments? Which region the cost is low? Which region the cost is high? So there's a lot of data that needs to come into picture, and this is where I think the ML models kind of bring in a lot of in terms of impact, because it enables us to cross analyze a lot of different data aspects, and also come up with a model, a result which basically says whether this application is true or not. Similarly, even in the credit space, when an application is made by a borrower saying that I want whatever 50 lakhs of loan, first of all, impersonification. So it's a bit of a mouthful. So impersonification is a very important aspect. You might have seen people using Sunny Leon's Aadhaar card or ID card for application and things. These are things that are happening in the industry. And uh, how do you prevent such use cases? Again, people use AI for fraud. There are, for example, use cases where people are coming onto the camera, wherein the image is morphed in real time using the new age LLM models. How do you identify whether this is a real person who's actually showing his liveliness or not? So that's where we have our solutions to detect, identify frauds during the onboarding stage itself, and then during the whole credit underwriting time, whether the documents that's been submitted, is that tampered with, have they manipulated the numbers, are they faking certain information. So a lot of information here, again basis the historic data that Perfios has been processing, as well as some of the latest in technology has been combined to bring in real value to our customers.